grab some quiche. Cavs lose by 1 point last night. It was the preseason opener. They were in Atlanta. But a lot of those guys are looking good, by the way. Isaac Okoro, about 19 points in 20 minutes last night.
Yeah, it was good. Amani Bates, I like that dude.
Right?
It'd be exciting.
Pride of Eastern Michigan University. He's an Ypsilanti boy. So, yeah, Cavs, it was 108-107 last night there in Atlanta. Their home preseason opener is tomorrow night. They'll host the Orlando Magic. That is, that's Shaquille O'Neal and the Orlando Magic. I don't know who's on the Magic now. But it's going to be Cavs Magic at the Robo Fijo tomorrow night, 7 o'clock tip here on WMMS. Of course, the home regular season opener is the 27th of this month. The Cavaliers will be hosting the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Paulo Banchero.
Gesundheit.
That's their best player.
Oh, Paulo Banchero?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, good luck to him. They don't have Tracy McGrady anymore?
No, he's been retired for over a decade.
What about Penny Hardaway?
Also retired for even longer.
Who else did they have? Who do we...
Also, neither of them have been on that team
Who
since
was
for a very, very long time.
Who was trying to think of the guy that we had on the Bulls who went to Orlando because they go, hey, man, Horace Grant. Remember Horace Grant?
Oh, yeah.
This was a guy who was like part of the championship teams, but he felt perennially undervalued, and Orlando threw a giant bag of money at him, and I think he did maybe plus he had to get out of Dodge because there was a rumor that he had knocked up a local newscaster. And it was really jamming up both of their lives because she was married and he was married. It was like the old LeBron Sharon Reed thing here in Cleveland back in the day. All completely unfounded nonsense, but local rumors can really burrow in and start screwing you up. This Boulder story here on the east side, is this the person you were talking about yesterday? Is this someone you know?
No, this is not who I was talking about, but
Okay.
I just saw this Boulder story because we were talking about, you talked about how that car cut through your lawn one time, and there was some BMX toughs going through your neighborhood, turfing lawns.
Little girls, yeah.
Yeah. It's 2023.
I know, it doesn't
Little
matter.
girls can be BMX
I know,
toughs too.
doesn't matter. I know.
Yeah, him and the gender roles.
I heard him on the Ring camera go, this is a shortcut.
And then I was talking about my friend who they put up a reinforced guardrail in front of his house to keep cars from flying into his yard and his porch and his car and stuff like that. And then I saw this story on Cleveland.com about how the city, this isn't even like what this guy did, but the city, they didn't put up a guardrail. They just put up 2 giant boulders in his front yard, and they are doing their job because last year I think 2 cars crashed into his house and his car and his garage, so that because people just go flying down this road, and it's a dead end into like not a dead end, but like it stops and it's like a T where you can go left or right, but people are going too fast, and 2 cars smashed into these boulders, and the boulders won.
Yeah, this is a guy this is Cleveland Heights, South Taylor Road and Fairmount Boulevard comes to a T. And so this guy has for a long time, he had a "Where's my guardrail" sign.
It was made out of debris from his house.
Right.
Because a car crashed into his house.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, you probably consider selling your house maybe or making it someone else's problem. That's easier said than done, obviously. But, how many times are you going to file an insurance claim before your insurance company thinks that you're just engaging in insurance fraud? Oh, cars keep running into my house. Do they, sir? Do they keep running into your house?
Well, there's their cars.
You can take photos,
there's
obviously,
a lot of proof.
of the car in your living room. But yeah, these giant boulders, like you said, are doing their job. There's all these photos of the car, the full chassis is stuck up on the boulder.
It's crazy.
I wish I had seen how it happened, but
I know he needs a ring cam. He needs to do like that bridge, that can opener bridge, where he has a ring cam showing everybody crashing into his boulders.
Yeah. I was walking out of the Giant Eagle at 117th, and I don't know how it happened, but I was walking out, and a woman was driving like a small car that was kind of low to the ground. It was like a Hyundai Veloster or something, like a little 2-seater hatchback. And she was completely up and stuck on the curb. And so there's these four giant dudes are around her. I guess they were all, she was enlisting them to try to lift the front of the car up and get it over the curb. So I got out there too late to see how she did it. It didn't look like she tried to take a corner too quickly. This was in the parking lot. It was like between the front of the store.
You know where I used to see that all the time? When we were on Oak Tree. When we were on Oak Tree, for whatever reason, if they cut that intersection too short, they'll get right into the
little divider there.
Yeah, the little raised.
You mean
divider.
going from Rockside onto Oak Tree Boulevard?
Yeah,
and
I don't know
if it was slippery, but they would be like deep in there, and it would just be high enough to where the
wheels wouldn't touch.
Yeah, so they were like trying to reverse, and like your wheels
aren't touching the yeah.
So they would have to call like a tow truck to get.
That's what her car was. She's lucky those dudes were there because these were like big guys, and I don't know if they were just getting out of their own car, walking in, and I don't know what happened. I got out there a few minutes too late, but I was just kind of walking by. I was like, that sucks.
Yeah.
Because the curb was like in the middle of her chassis underneath the car, so there was no way for her to get any traction on her own.
Did she probably just didn't see it and tried to drive over and try to like cut through the parking lot.
I guess, but she must have been going at a good clip because if you're going, again, I know I sound like a broken record. It is unfathomable to me how people drive in parking lots. People are going like 45 miles an hour through parking lots. It's like
parking garages.
If you were taking a corner normally, you'd be going at like 5 miles an hour around a corner. She got up on this curb, so I don't know if she gunned it unexpectedly. I don't know.
I had that happen to me.
Yeah, you got no room to talk, Poundcake. You're one of those dudes whipping around the corners in the parking garage.
I am not.
Yes, you are.
I am not.
Because I had to stop my car because you flew past me going down the ramp.
You got me at a bad time.
Yeah, I got you at a time you were flying through the parking lot. You're one of those guys flying through the parking lot. Yes, you are.
I'm not.
I was pulling out one night, and I creep around these corners because in this, the corners in our parking garage here are so hairpin turns, and there's guys with these giant goddamn dumb pickup trucks. You can't see around them. And so I'm crawling around the corner. Here comes Poundcake whizzing down the ramp. I'm like, who's this a-hole? And then he goes by, and it's Cody. I'm like, all right,
Give
cool.
me a little peace sign. I wasn't a total a-hole.
He gave you the peace.
Gave me the peace sign.
I was like, hey. I was like, oh, that's Alan. Hey. And I just rode on by.
Oh, that's Alan I almost slammed
so
into.
you want me to not do it and then continue to go at the speed I was going?
I want you to crawl around the corners like a normal person.
I crawl.
Yeah, right. This guy's going 20 on the highways. He's going 45 through a parking ramp.
No, you want to stick your nose all the way out there.
Because I can't see around the pickup truck. That's why you don't
see in between the little
That's
cracks.
why you don't fly down the ramp.
I wasn't
because
flying.
People can't see.
I wasn't flying.
Homie, are you calling me a liar?
You just said you were.
Are you calling me a liar?
You just said he caught you on a bad day.
How? What do you define as flying?
Dude, you know you were rolling down that ramp. You were not like
was on the brake. It was not on the gas.
Uh-huh.
So I just let my car roll naturally.
What I'm saying is you roll naturally.
It was just rolling.
You didn't hit me because I stopped, not because you stopped.
I don't know about
You didn't even see me till you were right on top of me.
I don't know that.
And then you looked and kind of gave me the piece. Oh, that's Alan. If it had been some civilian, you would have been like, get the hell out of my way. Where you going, bitch? This guy.
Anyway, Mary, you got your car stuck once?
Yeah, it's okay. I was the plaza that my nail salon is in has what seemed like an unusually high curb, and I took it too tight when I was turning in, and half of my car was stuck up on it. Like my car was teetering.
Is this your current car?
Yeah, my car was teetering on this curb, and I was like, what am I going to do? Like, I'm not strong enough to push this, but like I have two
not
wheels.
With that attitude, you're not.
I have two wheels touching the ground. And so I was kind of standing there for a second. I was like, do I call a tow truck? Do I do this? And I got into my car and I just hit the gas and I caught enough traction that it was, but it like scraped the whole, crunching metal, the whole underneath of my car.
Poundcake, what did that sound like?
Yeah.
He nailed it.
You knew
That's exactly what it sounded like.
But I've done that before, just taking a turn too tight. And then you end up there and you're like, God damn it.
Would you say that your car took a turn for the worse?
Okay.
Hey, I got to give you some money here. It's $1,000, courtesy of the Buzzard bookie. You get one of these every hour, so I hope you win. Good luck.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Check. That's check. Enter it now at WMMS.com.
Oh, I wanted to bring this to your attention because we were just discussing it the other day. You want to talk about great timing. We were talking about a woman named Dorothy Hoffner from Chicago, Illinois. She's 104 years old.
She's in my sports break.
She set the world record for the oldest person to ever go skydiving. I think she did this last week or a couple of weeks ago. Dorothy Hoffner was found dead Monday morning by the staff at the Brookdale Lakeview Senior Living Community. She died in her sleep on Sunday night.
When you give a place a name like that, of course people are going to be dying.
Sounds like a cemetery.
Yeah.
Brookdale Lakeview Senior Living Community?
Yeah.
Brookdale Lakeview Cemetery.
Yeah. Well, okay. I don't know where the Brookdale Lakeview Senior Community... Oh, it's right up... it's in my old neighborhood. It's right up there. There are a lot of old people in that part of Chicago, so that makes sense. But she got her world record. She didn't really live to enjoy it. But Dorothy Hoffner is dead at 104.
I want someone to break that record today.
You want somebody who's 105?
Yeah, get up there.
To get up there? Yeah. In a wheelchair, completely infirm. Did they just strap a thing to her, push her out of a plane? Hey, Jim.
Yeah.
What's up?
There. Hey, you guys talk about bad drivers. This afternoon, North Olmsted on Lorraine Road, just west of Country Club Boulevard, there was a car up on a tree lawn with the nose up against the telephone pole, the power of a pole, and the bumper was resting on the ground. It was almost straight up.
Mm-hmm.
Sheesh.
What'd you do about it?
I was just about ready to call when the police came. But, yeah, how fast you got to be going to do something like that?
34 miles an hour.
Nah, not like that.
Jim, I just ran the numbers on it right here. I was able to use...
now you can do math? Okay.
I was using generative AI to work the numbers there, and it turns out it's 34 miles per hour.
I don't know what these people been doing, man, driving. It's getting insane anymore.
There are people
love driving.
People love driving fast, and there are people that are very talented and can drive fast, and it is, that's fine, I guess. It's dangerous for everybody else, but whatever. But then there's people that just drive fast, and they're terrible drivers.
Well,
I don't get that.
Here's the thing, Jim. For these guys who are really good at driving fast, it's all about family.
That's what I was...
All about family, Jim.
And it started that they just really wanted to steal DVD players.
DVD players, right. Please turn off my AI machine, will you? Thank you. Okay, thanks, Jim. I appreciate the call.
Must be an old model.
Jim, I'm sorry?
It must be an old model.
I'm taking I retrofitted an old model, Bill, and I'm running my generative AI through it. And this is how I determined, given Jim's tone, given his storytelling ability, given the facts of the case, that when he finally asked, rhetorically, sure, but how fast you got to be going to do that? I was able to tell him, 34 miles per hour. I've got the ticker tape to show you. It still kicks out ticker tape. What?
He wasn't buying it.
He wasn't buying it?
Mm-mm.
He wasn't picking up what I was laying down?
Nope.
He didn't believe me?
Nope. Just like Cody.
Well, anywho, R.I.P. Dorothy Hoffner. And by the way, great news for the olds. It's easy. There are a lot of cultures around the world that revere their elders, that respect the lessons we can learn. Not this country. No way. If you get north of, let's say, 62, get the hell out of here. They want to send you to the desert, put you in a corner, whatever. But they've determined that you can't make fun of the olds in one particular way anymore because the kids fall for online scams way more than their grandparents do.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Because the bottom line is they're like, look, there's this notion that kids are like super computer savvy, and they're not. They're super social media savvy. They are not computer savvy. If you asked them how a computer worked or what the parts of it were or anything like that, they would have no idea. Really good on TikTok, but that doesn't mean that you know if people are phishing for you and things. They're like way higher rates of Gen Z and younger computer users getting scammed. Romance scams, cyberbullying, identity theft. Gen Z are 3 times more likely to get caught up in an online scam than their grandparents. So they're like, they're aware of the things that go on, but they're much more vulnerable to these things.
What are the top scams right now?
Yeah, I'm finding this hard to believe. Unless they're also getting scammed in their emails.
Well, yeah, they're talking.
They said relationships is probably a big one for.
Well,
but
yeah,
you know what?
They said like email phishing, romance scams.
That, because I did a college not that long, Michigan State actually. When I was up there last month, I did a joke about dating apps, and nobody really laughed. And I was like, "Oh, are you guys not on dating apps?" And one of the girls yelled out, she said, "That's millennial shrimp," like saying that Gen Z does not do dating apps. So I'm a little surprised that. Relationship.
What do they do then?
She said they just meet. They're like back to meeting at parties and through like social media DMs and friend of a friend.
Snapchat hoes. That's what it is.
Well,
I don't think they're using Snapchat anymore.
It's partly Snapchat, but it's also, and I kind of alluded to this last week. I was talking about this long conversation I had with my son, and he's like, everybody now, college age, are just kind of terrified of things. I mean, obviously they had a school shooting earlier in the year, so that adds to it. But he's like, people are not going on and just swiping to people. He's like, and it's getting increasingly hard to meet people. Bars are different than they used to be, just people walking around are nervous about going home with somebody they don't know, all kinds of things.
Well, everybody loves spooky season. Now it's spooky season every day.
Right. Yeah. So they said just because Gen Z relies on technology more doesn't mean that they have a deeper understanding of it. So, you talk about people of that generation might be because what are we constantly being bombarded with? How lonely social media makes people. So it seems like they might be pretty ripe if they fall into some romance scam or online thing, and they shop a lot online, right? And we all do that now, but I mean, there's some people that like only do that. And there's more and more like just completely fake shopping sites. You couldn't tell just from looking at it, but so the olds aren't now granted. The olds miles ahead on Facebook and letting you know that, still trying to stop the steal. But all the other stuff, the kids need to watch out. Every generation has its own disease.
I'm shocked by that.
Well, that's kind of why I mentioned it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's an interesting way to do news.
Shock and awe, Mary.
I feel like the new generation is going to be the first generation to pay for their college with OnlyFans money.
People have been doing that since stripper days. I guess OnlyFans money, but like sex work has paid for plenty of colleges.
I personally did not know any seniors that were strippers at the time.
Oh, boy,
they're
I
not
did.
telling people, yeah.
I got a break here. If you want to send me a text, 35192, AlanCoxShow.com. You can hit us up or watch live, and we'll be back.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on